ahead and send some invites out if you would please. Because today, I am just honored to have the one, the only Kelly Mary Mcallister. Listen, first of all, I have to say this because I'm fangirling. I am such a fan of your work. From the moment I heard you, um, you blew me away because I hadn't heard you before, and it was just like, oh my God, did that just come from her? Oh my God. Like for real, I was fangirling so much. And so anytime that I could hear you, I would try my best to pop up wherever. Like not stalkerish type, but but I always wanted to hear you spit because the way you spit and what you bring to poetry is so dynamic. So I just want to say that first and foremost. Let me get my fangirling out the way. Oh, but everybody, welcome. This is Pen and Sword to Soto's Pen and Sword at that. I have the beautiful Miss Stacy Dyson, who is the curator of this and also the founder of this amazing Soto of women who are such fire pens, which includes myself, includes Miss Kelly, includes my sister right here, Miss Lady, and a host of other amazing pens and dynamic women. So thank you for pulling up tonight to hear and to get to know the beautiful Kelly Mary Mcallister. First of all, let me ask Miss Kelly, how are you doing tonight? I know you have a lot going on in the area, but
There's a lot going on up here. If you don't know, there's wildfires in most of Ontario. Not where I am, but there's smoke everywhere. So everything outside is a little bit greeny gray, like a post-apocalyptic film, and the air quality is of the everyone stay inside, no one go outside variety.
yeah.
And my best friend just got admitted to the hospital for gallbladder surgery. So
Mm,
if I pull up my phone, I'm just making arrangements for tomorrow to pick her up.
no problem.
Um, but
No
yes, I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. Not awesome that you're having fires, but
Yes, the
awesome
fires
that you
aren't
have
awesome.
here.
The surgery's
No,
not awesome, but
no,
this is awesome.
definitely. Yes, I had heard about the fires earlier and had to check on some people. I also saw some news reports that the smoke is so bad that it's literally covering Detroit as well.
Yep, that
And
makes
that's
sense.
crazy. I'm like, oh wow. Yeah, I never knew how close, Canada was to that. So
Mhm.
yeah, that blew me away. So I am glad you are safe. You and your people are safe. I am sending out prayers, and y'all please do the same for her area and the surrounding areas because I know it is touching a lot of people right now. So,
Oh yeah. A number of our indigenous communities have just been wiped right off the map. So if you follow
mm,
me on socials, there's ways to support. I've shared them up there. If you have anything you can do. At the same time, I am also working on behalf of a fellow poet who wishes to remain anonymous but is facing eviction.
I'm
So
sorry.
one of our community members has a short period of time to gather enough funds to keep their housing. So there is a call for mutual aid that's on my page, as well as a fundraiser slam that we are doing on Saturday at 2 p.m. on Zoom. There are still spots available. There are too many spots available, and it's making me stressed. So if anyone is interested in competing, there's $150 USD on the line. You could take that home. Everything else that's raised goes towards this poet and their eviction prevention. But it will be a great slam. It will be a great time, and it's for a great cause.
Is there a fee to get into this slam?
There is a $25 fee to participate.
Okay.
And then that's why we made sure there was a pot of money for people to win at the end.
Mhm. Just want to
Um,
make sure they know that out there.
yes, absolutely. And anyone can come and watch. All it requires is a donation of any amount.
So even if you don't want to be a part of the slam, at least donate something just to come support, to come watch, because this is one of our own in the community, y'all.
Mhm.
So this segues into something that I have always noticed about you, is that your willingness to support your fellow poets, and you pushing that out there, and just support people and what you believe in. Where does that stem from?
Ooh. I feel like I was born with opinions.
Mm.
Like I emerged from the womb and was like, "Hmm, that was an interesting technique, doctor. I don't know that I would have used that particular maneuver." Um, I was a very precocious child. I was kind of morbid. I was always obsessed with death and justice and sort of why do bad things happen. And it made me, and then I had a rocky home life. You know,
Okay.
my friends had normal problems and I had soap opera problems.
Mm.
Where it's like, oh no, my mother's estranged biological father is dying of cancer and we've never met, but the school play is happening the same weekend.
Oh,
Just unnecessarily dramatic things. Um, and instead of letting that make me bitter,
yeah.
it just made me more aware of all of the different ways that the people around me were suffering
Okay.
and struggling. And I've worked in the nonprofit sector for 17 years now. When I'm not writing poetry, I'm a fundraiser for a small queer nonprofit that supports through transitional housing, free mental health care, a drop-in center, vital supports, groceries, all that kind of stuff. And it can be a little exhausting. Pride Month was a marathon, but I find it incredibly fulfilling. And so it gives me the more I give, the more I get, and
Yeah.
vice versa. Like this is a slight tangent, but I struggled a lot with shame when I was younger for
Mhm.
not living up to my potential, for living in a large body in a world that tells you that to be anything other than thin is to be an automatic
Girl,
failure.
yes.
And
Trust me, I'm
I
there with you on that one.
yes, there's so much internalized shame.
Yeah.
And I just started giving myself some goddamn grace. And the more grace I gave myself, the more grace I had for other people.
Mm.
And the more grace I had for other people, the more grace I had for myself. It's sort of like a Ouroboros or like a spiral that only goes up. And I think that that has been a huge lesson that I had to learn some hard ways, but I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to learn it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And it sounds like along the way that built a lot of character with you. Because I look at you and I look at your colorful hair sometimes. I look at the colors that you love to wear. I see so much personality in you. This the pictures that you take. Yeah, I love it. I love it all. So it sounds like along the way you develop your own style, your own character. With that being said, what are five adjectives that would describe you best as a person, as a poet, but describe you?
Describe me. Well, loquacious would be the first one. I
Mm.
got a lot of words and I will use them, often too heavy-handed. I'm working.
I love it.
Um, so loquacious would be one. I would say I'm an optimistic realist.
Okay.
Like I recognize that bad things happen, but to recognize that bad things happen, you also have to recognize that good things happen. And if good
Mm.
things can happen, why not hope for the good things?
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm banking on them, but I'm hoping for
Right.
them. And that tends to be an interesting one. I would say I am sleepy,
Hmm.
borderline narcoleptic.
Okay.
I love my bed more than any other place in the world. If I could just nap every day, I would. I love being asleep. I love the moment before you fall asleep. I love the moment when you're just waking up and you're just sort of like dancing into consciousness. Like, I love sleep so much.
See, I need to find my relationship with sleep because I, on the other hand, am an insomniac. I don't sleep.
Oh no.
It's like I hate to sleep. Like, wait, what? I got to do something. Wait, what? Huh? Shut down. What do you mean?
Yeah, I have the opposite problem. I'll be like, I gotta do all these things. I should get up and do them. Like,
we need to trade off some things.
yes, we need to find a happy medium
Yeah,
between our extremes.
definitely.
I've got two more words. Okay.
Yes.
I would say curious.
Okay.
I'm a very curious person. I like to Google things. I like to get answers. I like to ask people questions. And then the last thing I would say is I am very much a storyteller. I like
Yeah.
to tell stories. I like to tell my own story, other people's stories, jokes, poems.
I can
I
definitely
really
see that.
enjoy sharing.
I can definitely see that. I love it. Well, let's do this. I don't know how many pieces you had prepared for tonight.
I got a
Let's go.
couple.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get three. I'll ask you a few more questions. That way you're not just going, and then
Okay.
we'll get some more. And yeah, we just gonna vibe.
Okay.
And
I think
welcome
that sounds
everybody
great.
that popped in between us talking. So welcome. If y'all would like to join the open mic, because we do have an open mic, a small open mic, go ahead and drop that in the chat, and I will grab that out of the chat so that when we're done, we can get the open micers. But yeah, this is Kelly's night, and we want her to shine, y'all. So Miss Kelly Mary McAllister, you have the view.
Okay. I'm focusing more on newer pieces, so there's less of a through theme with all of these. But these are some of the pieces I've been working on lately and some of the things I've been thinking about lately.
All right.
This first one is called What I Mean Is, and is in that standard, almost cliche, but I really like it. The when I say blank, what I mean is option, metaphor, but over and over again. My mother kicked me out at 17. Now, when I say she kicked me out, I mean that she sold our home, moved an hour away to a house that did not have a bedroom for me, and said if I wanted to, nope, if I needed to, that I could stay in the unfinished attic. That's some Cinderella shit. I didn't know you could feel abandoned at 17. But when I say I felt abandoned, I mean that it was the cherry on a milkshake of all the small ways that she had forsaken me over a lifetime, blended into a bitter beverage that I drank for years. And when I say years, I mean decades. Nursing my resentment like the last beer, sipping on the dregs of my own backwash, as if I could wash myself clean with my own anger, as if anger is like bleach. I mean, it is, in that they are both corrosive. But bleach erases all manner of sins, while anger just preserves them. Like the mosquito in Amber, the one from Jurassic Park that they used to resurrect the dinosaurs. Well, they could have saved a lot of time and money. Found an example in the desert and the chip on my shoulder. It might have been less destructive. I moved through the world unmoored, never settling long. If I never claimed a place as home, it hurt less when I inevitably had to leave. And when I say leave, I mean flee. Find a new space, new neighborhood, try on a new persona, as if it's as easy as wearing a new hat. I've always wanted to be better at wearing hats, but my head is way too big. Physically, my skull, it's large. They used to say it was to hold my big brain, but I told them that that was pseudoscience based in eugenics. Big words for a small girl, which just reinforced the idea that I was too smart for my own good. And when I say too smart for my own good, I mean that I learned early how to get what I want, how to play the game, how to set the scene, how to ask the right way. But the only thing I ever wanted was for her to love me the right way. And when I say the right way, I mean in a way that doesn't hurt so much. She loves me. She does as best that she can, but sometimes our bests aren't good enough. And I mean, love requires trust. And I feel like she's always waiting for me to cut her off like we did her mother. And by her mother, I mean the monster that raised her. She tells me that I don't know how bad it was, and I agree. But I tell her that I was raised by the result of my grandmother's unique brand of care. So I've got some ideas. And when I say I have some ideas, I mean that self-hatred is the precious family heirloom they passed on to me. And if you hate yourself, how can you ever believe that you deserve the love of a child, of this child? So when I say I want her to love me, what I mean is I want to love myself and that I wish she would join me, but that I'm going to make a home there in my own heart, whether she joins me or not. So that was piece one. As you probably know, I have a small chapbook I'm working on called Mommy Issues because I have those. But I will jump into a different family piece, if you will, with a slightly different vibe. This is more my paternal side of the family. Deep in farm country, where fields stretch like fingers with knobby knuckles, there is a tent city of sorts. Campers and tarps strung between trees that used to stand outside a farmhouse before it burned down. And like the farmhouse before it, that had also burned down. Maybe another family would think this a warning that this land of ours wasn't meant for permanence, but there we still are. The farm is still a farm. The family is still the family. The family farm is now that tent city. Most of the land sold off, all but a little parcel. Still got cows on three sides, and it's our little parcel that we can return to. Dig into the dirt that my great 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 grandfather tilled. Fingers like roots in the soil. My father loves this farm, as do my aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces. I do too, but more theoretically. They spend summers splitting wood and shucking corn to boil over a fire. They plant trees here, scatter ashes here, water the earth with their tears here. The last time I was here, a spider bit me, blotchy and red, spreading over my forearm like a curse from a wicked fairy or a memory that you can't make yourself forget. Maybe that means that I am other, that I do not belong to this farm, not like they do. But my father does, and my nieces do, and I belong to them. One day he will die, and we will scatter his ashes here, and I will return more frequently, desperate to be close to him. Perhaps that's why they all come back so frequently. The pull of the past, the grounding, the gravity of history. Fingers like roots in the soil. One day my world will be a lonelier place. Nobody lives forever. Nothing is forever, and I will be pulled along the tide to the shores of my family legacy. I will get drunk around a campfire. I will gaze up at stars that have stood sentinel in these skies over this land since long before it was ours, before the concept of ownership landed here, since before deeds and titles and bad faith treaties, when people better understood that the only thing we can ever truly hold forever is each other. So those are two very different takes on family. And they're coming from the same person in generally the same year. I think that speaks to the dynamism of our sort of familial relationships. Um, and then I think I will go with this one hasn't seen light in a while. But it is called the name of the poem also serves as its trigger warning. Yet another sexual assault poem. They say that practice makes perfect. And I guess that must be true because every time I'm sexually assaulted, I get a little bit better at being the right kind of victim. The kind who will be believed, greeted with sympathy and understanding instead of a barrage of accusations cosplaying as questions about what you did wrong, because you must have done something wrong, right? Or it wouldn't have happened to you, would it? I'm starting to chafe at that idea. I mean, there are no perfect victims, are there? Were you too virginal? You let him on. Too experienced? You led him on. Did you agree to have sex with him and then change your mind? You led him on. When you said no, was it loud enough? And how many times did you say it? And did he know your limits up front? You should have told him. You should have planned for every eventuality. You should have been louder. You should have been bolder. You should have been tougher. You should have been nicer. You should have. You. But there's no perfect victims, are there? Because if we have victims, that must mean that we have perpetrators. And I know more women who have been assaulted than I can count. But how many men do you know who have assaulted a woman? How are we awash in victims amongst a sea of innocent men? Who is committing these crimes then? Is it boogeymen? The first time I was assaulted, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he hadn't heard me. Maybe I wasn't clear. But as I sobbed out of fear on his chest, he thought the time best to finagle a hand job. And for a moment, for just a moment, as I hyperventilated and I cried, I actually complied. And then I remembered I had pride. I summoned all of the strength I had and I asked him to leave. I even paid for his Uber so I'd have a quicker reprieve. The second time, I just froze. Let that man run his race, withdrew inside myself to a place that felt safe, responded to his postcoital chit-chat with monosyllabic grace. The next day he texted to say I seemed a little off base. And I told him that happens when you're faced with an assault case. He told me that he disagreed, that that wasn't what happened. That's not what he believed. But I had told him no, repeatedly, not that. And he did it anyways, as he had always intended to do. And now he texts me out of the blue every 6 months, or at least a few. I blocked 5 separate numbers, but he always texts from something new, as if he can get me to forgive him. He doesn't have to live with the label of perpetrator. His desire for absolution is now my burden to bear. So by the third time I was assaulted, I had no unlock. I said it loudly. I said it repeatedly. I pulled away. I pushed. It still took agonizing seconds for him to stop. And I threw him out as he apologized over and over while I fought the instinct to soothe him and tell him it would be okay. Because it wasn't okay. And the most frustrating part, the insidiousness of all of it, is that two of those three were men who had dated me. They had wooed me. They had treated me so nicely until they didn't. So no, I am not a perfect victim. But if I have no desire to ever be a victim again, imperfect or otherwise, what am I to do? How am I to keep myself safe? Can you choose to sleep with men? To let them into your home and your heart and your heat and ever get to assume your own safety? Or is the boogeyman just an everyman, but nobody knows it until it's too late?
Wow. Hmm.
Haven't read that one in a while.
I, your writing, the dynamic of your writing, um, you give us your truth, right?
Hmm.
But you also put a little humor in there from time to time.
Hmm.
So even when you are dealing with something heavy, sometimes it doesn't come across as heavy. Um, but then you tackle topics like the one you just did, and you can't give us anything but truth
Hmm.
because that's what is needed. Because sometimes you can't soften something that should be talked about.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
One of my funniest open mic moments, though, involves that third poem.
Really?
I think, yes, I think Nemo was there for it.
Hmm.
I was reading that poem or an earlier draft of that poem, and my dog started choking on something. but in a way where I wasn't sure if he was choking or not. But because the Zoom noise suppression is so good, I didn't know if anyone else could hear him. So I
Okay.
had to just keep going and hope that he worked it out, but he wasn't working it out. And then I was like, "Are you okay, buddy?"
Oh
And
my
like
God.
I was like, do you need something?" And I'm having this like mid-poem aside with him. And it turns out nobody could hear him choking in the background. So I just was just like, or is the boogeyman and are you okay? Are you good?
Oh
Um,
my God.
and it was so funny, but you couldn't laugh.
Right.
You couldn't laugh.
Right. Totally.
You remember Nemo?
Yes, I remember.
Because it's a traumatic moment at the same time. But yeah.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
I hope
yeah, what
somebody
a
recorded that one.
dark humor moment.
Um, when writing a poem that heavy, right?
Yeah.
Is there something that you have to do after you've written it, after you've gotten that out? Do you have to reset yourself or find a happy somewhere? You know what I mean?
Honestly, the poem is my resetting.
Okay.
It's the writing that really does it for me.
Mhm.
Like even the best friend who's in the hospital with the gallstones right now, her thing is always like, are you at a point where you can write about it yet?
Mhm.
Because once I'm writing about it, I'm working through it.
Okay.
If it's too raw, if it's too new, off sometimes I can't write about it yet. Like it won't come. It's not gonna happen. And then I'll get to a point where all of the words will have sort of boiled inside me for long enough, and I will just sit down and it's almost visceral. Like I'm not thinking about it, I'm just exercising it.
Gotcha.
And
Uh,
that process is really cathartic for me.
okay. Okay. I
Yeah,
like.
some of my favorite pieces are ones that I agonized over and really was like focused on craft and technique. But I would say two-thirds of my favorite pieces are the ones that sort of, I wouldn't say they came out perfectly, but they came out mostly as they finished.
Gotcha. When dealing with negativity and positivity, right? This
Hmm.
isn't just generally about poetry.
Okay.
Um, why do you think people view most positivity with a negative energy?
Mm. I think because positivity can be extremely negative.
Mhm.
I think there's something to be said for people that won't engage with the reality that is around them that includes negativity.
Okay.
And it's very hard to be your full self with someone that won't engage with those aspects.
Hmm.
You know, like how do I bring my bad days to you? And how do I critique the world around me with you?
Hmm.
And that's, I think, a huge part of being an informed citizen is also being a critical citizen. And to do that, you have to engage with negativity. And so I think positivity is one of those things that it's very much a balance. It's a calibration you constantly have to do. You can't be too positive, you can't be too negative. I've done so much CBT and DBT in my life. That's cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectical behavioral therapy. Um, and a lot of it is about sort of retraining the way that you have to think because you can't trust your first thoughts because my first thoughts are horrible. Like my inner voice is, she's a bitch. She is mean to me. She is cruel. She is pessimistic. She wouldn't get out of bed most of the time. Like just not, it's not productive. It's not helpful. It's not enjoyable. It's not good for me or anyone around me. So I've had to retrain a way of saying what do I know is true? What do I think is true?
Hmm.
What do I think is possible? And if it's possible, What makes me think it won't happen?
Right.
Because you spend so much time being like, well, this bad thing's gonna happen, this bad thing's gonna happen, this bad thing's gonna happen. Okay, can't we do the same thing with good things too?
And I think we can. I think we go through, especially in today's times, I think we
Hmm.
go through just expecting something bad to happen.
Yes,
That's all we think
understandable.
about anymore.
You can't read the news without that.
Because it's everywhere.
No.
You can't scroll your Facebook, your Instagram, your even TikTok. You can't even scroll
Ooh,
TikTok. Oh my
okay.
God.
I have a poem.
Okay.
I have a poem I have to read off of that
Go ahead.
that
Go
will
ahead.
lead to that conversation.
Go right ahead.
Okay, let me find it. It is. Ha! It came to me quickly. This was meant to be.
Okay.
Okay. A fluffy white Highland cow wears a flower crown. A trio of young girls throw it back to a K-pop song. With varying degrees of success, a young couple pulls pranks on each other until they both fall over laughing. And I watch it all from the comfort of my beloved bed, pleasantly scrolling away my day. A white man with a buzz cut, shirt 2 sizes too small, intones gleefully, "Your body, my choice." Ugh. I scroll very quickly past. But a little lamb swaddled in a child's onesie is joyously stamping his feet. And a million separate souls have all hit that heart button, so I join them. And then an ice officer falls down on a patch of ice. And the jokes, they write themselves. Followed by a lesbian with a wolf cut, earnestly confessing legal steps she is taking. She fears, she says, that her marriage will soon be invalidated, that the vow till death do us part includes the death of democracy. I keep scrolling. A woman with lips stretched painfully over too many cc's of filler demonstrates how to line your lips to make them look fuller, as if we are fooled, or simply foolish. I keep scrolling. And then a video of a body bag full of dolls, I think, at first. But no, those aren't dolls. Their skin is gray, not only from death, but also debris. In this video, it loops endlessly, and I don't know what to do with what is right in front of me. So, with the smallest flick of my smallest finger, I scroll away. A different trio dances to the same K-pop song, and I keep scrolling. A wannabe Politico stitches a video of a hot take, itself a stitched video of a hot take, as if the problems being faced are hypotheticals and not real stakes. I keep scrolling. Multiple ICE agents surround a single man. They strike him repeatedly. Shots are fired. He falls to the ground. A voice in the background breaks as it shouts, "You killed him!" And I keep scrolling. A kitten falls off of a window hammock, takes it off. I keep scrolling. Another influencer, another brand, another influencer, another brand, another influencer, another brand, another tragedy in another land, all contained on a device in my hand. Am I complicit if I don't take a stand? But if I stood for every injustice that came across my phone, I'd be standing until the day they laid my damn gravestone. And I'm tired. But when I close my eyes, all I see is dead children, the unraveling of democracy, violence, and apathy. It feels wrong to look, but somehow worse to look away. There are 8.3 billion people alive today. What the hell kind of difference can I alone make anyway? So I just lie here, scrolling my morality away.
Yeah, that sums all of that up perfectly.
I've got a line in another poem that says, "Some weeks I see more dead children online than I do live ones."
Ooh. And that is a hard fact for me every
Yeah.
day. Every day. I literally was telling a friend of mine earlier that because she sent me a video of a state trooper who beat another female
Hmm.
for no reason.
Yep.
You can tell he was itching to do so, um, just by his tone and him contradicting himself by telling her one thing, and then when she complies, he says, "I didn't tell you to do that," or vice whatever. And I
Hmm.
told her, I said, "It's sad that I see anywhere from 10 to 15 of these a day, and they're all
Yeah.
different. They're all different."
Yep. And it's always mixed in with like a cat video. And
Or funny
like,
video, or
look at me surprising my mom with my pregnancy announcement. And
hmm
then immediately following, like, someone's brutally murdered.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's the thing I don't know how to process. I don't know that as a species we know how to process that. Um,
Because we have a heart, and I think what it's doing is because we see it so much, is it's desensitizing us,
yes.
especially our youth.
Yep.
And this is why we're
Absolutely.
having a lot of the issues we have now, but they're desensitized.
Yep.
So how, if adults have a hard time processing it, how,
Yeah. What's happening with them?
and I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm
Yes.
smiling, but it's not funny. This isn't I'm laughing type of smile. It's just like, what do you do?
And it's a what do you do? It's a what do you do reaction.
What do you do?
That's actually where that poem did not come out fully formed. I worked on that poem for a year.
Mm,
And I did version after version after version of it, and I worked on that poem for a really long time.
yeah.
So that's one of the few that is less about emotion and more about opinion.
Whew. Listen, y'all can jump in if you have a question, if you want to ask a question right now, feel free to ask a question. If y'all want to give her some love right now, do so. Let's give her a slight break from talking right now. But if you want to show her some love right now, please do so. Come off your mic, show her some love real quick, and then we're gonna let her get right back into it. And again, if you want to be on the open mic, I have those that already put themselves down. Go ahead and drop it in the chat, and I got you. So if anybody wants to come off mic, y'all are able to do so. If not, we want to keep going.
I'm good to keep going.
Okay. So let me ask. Let's reset
Yeah,
because we've been heavy.
we've been having.
We've been heavy. If you could go back in time,
Oh,
what era would you go back to?
oh, see, this is a hard question, not only because there are multiple answers, but because I
Mhm.
have like so many caveats. Or
Ooh,
I'm like, as you know, going back in time as a woman, even as a white woman, not a great gamble.
yeah,
Like I can't even imagine how much more limiting it is from another perspective. Because I look at the time periods and I'm like, well, cool, but even if I was a royal woman, I was still property. Like even the best case scenario still leaves me with no autonomy over my own life.
yeah.
Like, and I've always struggled with that, but it's like as if I could go back and ignore all of the geopolitical issues, I've always really enjoyed like the Georgian era
Okay.
where they had like all the balls and like everything was in that stupid white marble in London and Edinburgh and just like the ridiculous opulence of it. It's gross
Mhm.
in hindsight, but it would be so amazing to see. And I honestly, I'm so curious what it all smells like. I bet it smells terrible. Because like they had these huge balls in these ridiculous outfits with absolutely no air conditioning and like way too many people per room.
I never thought about the no air conditioning.
And they're all just dancing.
Yeah.
I bet it smells awful.
And back then, a lot of them didn't believe in baths.
No. I feel like if I had to count some of the political stuff, I would go to the 1920s,
Mhm.
which I know is awful because you've got World War II coming up, you've got the Great Depression coming up, but there's something about that like Girl Friday, like Katharine Hepburn style. I'm wearing pants. What are you gonna do about it, sir? Like just a little bit of that like 1920s Art Deco. We're throwing it out and living it up. I think that would be super interesting.
That probably would be very interesting.
Oh
I
God, can you
imagine some
imagine?
of the iconic moments that women have made in history and wonder
Mhm.
what it actually took for them to stand up and say, okay, I'm doing this.
Yes,
You know?
absolutely. But I think that's true of any civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Like anytime people are trying to enact change, particularly to enact change in a peaceful manner,
Mhm.
that's that is a real sacrifice. Like it's not armchair activism. It's actually saying I'm willing to put things on the line. You
Yeah,
know,
because everybody can wake up and say, I want change.
yes, but
But
what are
what
you
does
doing to change things?
what are you actually doing to change it? And
And I
how
think
much are you willing to put yourself out there to do it?
and
Because
how
you can
much
still do stuff in
discomfort
the
can you
background.
handle?
Yeah, yeah.
Like we're
What
so used to being comfortable.
hmm and how many risks are you really how much risk are you really willing to put forth?
Yes. You know, I keep seeing this like meme that's like everybody wants a community, but nobody wants to show up for their community. And it's like,
Mm,
are you intentionally building a community? Do you show up?
mm.
Because that alone is important.
That is.
And
That
it's just
is.
not there in the same way right now.
Yeah, because people study holler in the background. Things need to change. Things need to change. But
Hmm.
are not making any effort to change anything. They're waiting on the next person to do it. And it's one of those things, like even in your household, if everybody walks
Hmm.
by the trash and says, somebody need to take out the trash. But you literally said it, but didn't do it yourself. You're waiting for the
Yes.
next person to do it. So they come along and they say, oh God, the trash stinks. But they still
Yes.
didn't take out the, it's like, okay, is nobody going to take it out?
And honestly, that's a metaphor for our political climate right now. The
Ooh.
trash stakes. But
Mm.
I will
Yeah, I
say,
didn't even know
this
that.
is where my tinfoil hat comes out a little bit. I'm not much of a conspiracy person, but I can't help but feel like there is more resistance than we know about and is being talked about because you see little glimpses of it where it
Yeah,
pushes through to the mainstream media, like like the protests that are happening in Maine,
yeah.
everything that goes down in well, everything that went down in Minneapolis. And you see more of that.
Hmm.
And it makes me wonder what else is taking place because that we just don't get to see.
Very true.
Because one of the things I would say, like when I get too down and on the ennui, and like the world just seems too dark and too foreboding, and too many bad things are happening, I go and try to do a tiny bit of good within any scope I can.
Mm.
And sometimes that's, giving someone $5 so they can buy a sandwich.
Yeah,
Sometimes that's going to do a volunteer thing. Sometimes that's, choosing to like I chose to work in the nonprofit sector because I wanted to put my skills towards helping in
yeah,
whatever way I could. And that's one way that I can. I like to volunteer places at events, at, different hospitals in the past and tutoring after school. Like, you don't have to commit forever. You can do a term or a term or two, and it gives you some grounding and it gives you some hope because not only are you doing something positive, but you're meeting other people who are doing positive things.
that's true.
And then you're connecting with them potentially, and you're adding them to your network, and then you have multiple people that aren't just looking at the trash bag; they're taking the trash bag out.
Mhm.
And that gives you more energy next time you walk by the trash bag the fifth time and you're like, God, really? It's okay. I'm doing it. I'm doing it today.
This is very true. This is very. I'm gonna ask this last question. I'm gonna let you jump back into your poetry because
Okay.
I know they want more from you.
Oh yeah, Squigs. I know Squigs. You can send Squigs in if he's still there.
All right. So if you could have anything in the world right now, what would that be? And we're talking about something that's just going to make you the happiest in this moment. And it could be something minute, it could be something like a Sunday. But if you could have anything in the world right now at your fingertips, what would it be?
This is the most pretentious answer, but I mean it with all the sincerity in my body. I want the fall of capitalism.
Mm,
I want the fall of capitalism. I want there to be a community structured on reciprocity and generosity and compassion. I want broader definitions of success other than hoarding wealth.
yes.
I want artists to be able to make art, and I want nurturers to be able to nurture, and I want farmers to be able to farm. I, I don't want a system where the most money is held by people who just push around giant piles of money.
Yeah,
It's broken, and I want better, and I want better for everyone, not just myself.
I love that. I
Thank
love it.
you.
Let's go ahead and get back into your poetry. Um, because we want more. I want more. I know I do. So let's go ahead and get back into your poetry.
Okay. I think I will do two more.
Okay.
Um, okay, we'll do this one first because it's quasi-political and we were just talking about it.
Okay.
It's called It's Easy to Be a Pacifist in Times of Peace.
Your titles. Let me tell you something. Your titles are insane.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, let's go.
It is easy, so easy, to draw a line in the sand on a beautiful beach, with lazy waves lapping at the shore as palm trees gently sway in a forgiving breeze. Your real life feels so far away, and questions of morality are posed purely hypothetically, over drinks that you've all consumed too liberally, without any skin in the game of which you speak personally. And yet, as you lie there, baking in the sun, a little bit drunk, very relaxed, further out in the surf, one or two people seem to be drowning. Their cries for help are faint but undeniable. They're piercing your pleasant peace. Well, you think, that's what lifeguards are for, isn't it? They're there to worry about the safety of us all so we can lay in the sun, gilded with our great morals and protected by 50 SPF. Okay, well, what if, after a time, they're still crying out? How many cries for help can you ignore? Not the great you, not the anonymity of we, but you specifically, you the person, you the one. How many cries for help can your ears hear and do nothing? I do things, you say, sitting up on your towel, brushing sand from your hair. I sign petitions, and I share information about water safety, and I talk to my like-minded friends and family. I do things, you say. All right, you do. I concede. Those are not nothing. I agree. But the cries, they're still coming. And there's more of them now, and the lifeguards are actually calling for help too. They themselves are now drowning. Will you wade into the water now? Well, actually, you tell me. I just bought 50 life preservers, and Amazon will deliver them in the next few hours. Well, I don't think those people have a few hours. I ask why you didn't call 911. I assume someone already has, you say, before you turned on me. Why haven't you called 911? I've done more than you have, you say. You ask, why are you not in the water yourself? And for a moment, I splutter, as if I too am choking on the salty brine before telling you that regrettably, I don't know how to swim. Well, neither do I, you retort. And we glare. at each other, both annoyed at the other's inefficacy, inaction, ineptness in the face of human suffering. At least we tried to do something, I offer. At least we care. You nod. But we both know caring's not enough. And at the bottom of our morality lies a fear that festers into a shame that no waves could ever wash clean. Because a small voice within us mourns our ruined vacations as we stand shoulder to shoulder safe on the shore and we watch them all drown. I didn't say it was a particularly uplifting political poem.
No, you're fine. You are fine. Trust me, you're fine. This is
Thank you.
your day. We are here for
Okay.
it all.
So this will be my last one, and I'll give you a bit of context for it. So during Pride Month, because I work for a queer nonprofit, I get to go to a lot of events. A lot of events. I would say too many events. And I was going to this concert that was being put on by a youth choir, and it was a piece that had been written it's called In Consideration of Matthew Shepard. And I don't know if you all know or remember, but Matthew Shepard was a young man in the 90s who was the victim of a hate crime. And he was two men met him at a bar and pretended that they were into him and lured him to the countryside where they tied him to a fence, beat him, and left him to die.
I remember that.
And yeah, it was huge news. It was huge news. It divided the country. The Westboro Baptist Church protested his funeral. Like it was a whole thing. And
Mhm.
so this composer was inspired and he wrote a concerto, like a piece on it. And I got to go and see this piece, but I was so tired and it was such a long week and I was kind of like, oh God, really? This? Okay, no, it's good. I'm happy to be here. I think it's going to be amazing. But yeah, I was so drained from doing too many events that week. And they started to sing, and it was like everything melted away. It was 60 minutes long. I cried for 59 of them. It was beautiful. And it took place in a church that is very welcoming to the queer community, and was displaying art on the walls from one of the most famous Canadian Indigenous artists that there is, Norval Morrisseau. And it was just this moment of incredible beauty and pain coexisting at the same time. And I was just, the second I left there, I sat down on a park bench with my phone out and was like, "Hmm." And then I went to one of Shocky's workshops and she was saying, I wasn't sure how to finish it. And she was talking about some myths, Greek myths and Roman myths. And I realized that's how I was going to tie it all together. So this is once still. Once, once a young man. Once a young man was tied to a fence. Once a young man was tied to a fence, left to die. Once a young man was. Once a composer was moved by the young man who once was. Once a composer's fingers moved across a page, moved across keys, across strings, across a clef. Once a clef contained the tragedy of clenched fists and closed hearts, and a young man who once was. Once in a church in another country, once in a church in another country with rainbow flags above the doors, a chorus of young voices rang out, angelic and anguished, and the clef became life. Once in a church in another country, beautiful voices, clear and bright, echoed off walls adorned with art by a man who in his time loved man as well as woman, as well as both, as well as more. Paintings of myths and legends in stark colors and joyful configurations. Paintings of myths and legends that a country called Canada tried to eradicate. of a people that they tried to eradicate, tried to legislate out, educate out, starve out, drove them to frozen fields, dropped them off in the middle of nowhere. Once there was a fence in the middle of nowhere, a young man tied to it like Andromeda. Once a young man was tied to a fence because of fear and hatred. But Perseus never came for him. Once, Andromeda got to become a constellation. Once, a boy became a young man, became a scarecrow, became a movement, became a myth, but never became just a man. Once there was a we, and today there is a we, and tomorrow there is a we. And though the violence is senseless and the stars don't tell our stories, we do. We are. We still are. And that was in memory of Matthew Shepard and Norval Morrisseau.
Wow. I felt that so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Really.
Yeah, that was it. It feels important to me when I read it. I was so inspired by the intersection of the humanity and the art that it was just, it's like I couldn't put my pen down.
And you can literally feel the passion that you had in that,
Thank you.
you know what I'm saying, throughout that piece. So and it's for me, I encounter a number of poets, right? And I
Hmm.
think it is a unique quality when a person can make you feel the emotion in a piece that they may have
Hmm.
had. Because not many people can do that. People can make you feel some words, at times, right?
Hmm.
But to actually pull the poet's emotion through what they're saying. Like I can feel words listening to several pieces, right?
Hmm.
But and I may not be making sense right now, but you get what I'm saying. Maybe.
I get it. Yes, thank you. I
Maybe.
appreciate that.
Look, I'm babbling. Let me hush. But no, yeah, powerful piece. Powerful piece.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
No, it was my pleasure. This is such a great opportunity, and you curated such a lovely space.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all do me a favor, because I want to make sure that Kelly is feeling the love right now. Can y'all come off mic for me? I know y'all didn't want to earlier, but just come off mic, clap, whistle, whatever you gotta do, but show us some love. Throw up some emojis, something. I know it's not many of
Love,
Yeah.
love.
Billy. Wow. It was a great
Woo.
set. Really amazing.
Thank you.
beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for y'all coming through. Listen, we're gonna get to this open mic.
Yes, let's do it.
If you want to join the open mic, and I have not gotten your name down, please drop that because we're all poets here. I would love to hear from some of you all. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. That way, there's no pressure on somebody else. Um, I'll do that. And let's see. I wasn't prepared for that before I said it. But I do want to say this before I jump into that. Um, if you would like to donate to tonight's flow, to Soto's flow, you are able to do so at poetswind@hotmail.com. That is the PayPal. It's 90%, 90%, you hear me? Goes to this amazing poet who has given us her heart, who has given us her tonight. 90% will go to her. 10% goes with Tesoro so that we're able to pay for the platform. But 90% goes to her. Donate $5, whatever you like, but send a donation in so that we can bless her tonight, okay? Um, let's see. Poetry. What do we want to talk about? I got one. All right. I don't typically title poems. I need to because yeah, you got me thinking of some titles. Because your titles, oh my gosh. All right, so here we go. People always confuse transformation with permission, like shedding skin is a RSVP to bruise what's underneath the skin that's endured so much pain and heartache already. I walked into a room lighter, crown trimmed down to its rawest truth, and suddenly their hands thought they'd been handed rights to me. I cut my hair, and they thought it was an invitation to cut me, as if they're entitled to bathe in blood after slicing my wrist open. Like freedom of my scalp meant fragility in my spine. Scissors and mirror didn't give license to turn my body into paper to shred to pieces. This is not Samson's downfall. My strength is entangled in the strands of my hair. It's thundered through my DNA, pouring through my scars, refusing to fade. It's etched in breath I was never supposed to have. And I've learned all of these stripes on my skin. I didn't lose power with them, not with this trim. I simply multiplied it. You misread it though. You mistook my choice for surrender, my crown for an apology you thought you were owed, as if liberation ever bowed to insecurity. Hear me when I say this. What fell to the floor was dead weight that needed to be dropped, and it was only holding space. It needed to be shed to grow, and what hit the ground were cast out memories, trials that survived to bring me to a new place in my healing. No hands can rewrite the narrative of God's plan, and your eyes can't scout my story. God's the author, and I'm the ink, and this incision is what I decided I needed to cut, what I needed to heal. And every fallacy that you feared, it only grows back stronger, sharper. Every inch that you thought were mine to lose was a rebirth that can't be erased. No one gets to cut parts of me. No one gets to control my body, my worth, or my voice. I am not what's left behind on a salon floor. I am what stood up, smiled at the reflection, and walked away, carrying every piece of myself that no one else was entitled to. I'm the unshaven thunder, razored in resilience. I'm the blade that turned back on hands that had wielded it. And when I say I cut my hair, the only thing severed was the myth that you could touch me at all. That's a taste of something, something. All right, I have my beautiful sister, the beautiful complex angel, if she is there. Are you with me, sis?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, my love.
How
Thank you
are
for
you?
coming up. Please go ahead and tell them who you are, and you have the floor, love.
I am. I reason why I got my camera off because I'm sitting in the dark, and I don't know if y'all can see me, but I am Complex Angel. I am a poet, a stimulation mind awareness coach, and an author and a self love advocate. I stimulate the mind one poem at a time. My wounds are my wisdom. Can I share them with y'all tonight?
Amen. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I had a piece on my mind, but I'm gonna do something else. It's new. I just want to see if I had this poem down for my feature tomorrow in Germantown. So it's called Comfort Ain't the Bed I Choose to Sleep in. Originality is out here looking single as fuck. An identity no one wants to embrace. And hell, I can't blame them. We live in a world where real equates with being a hater. It's rare over being fake. See, people love when there's a smile plastered over your pain. Don't ask if you can breathe behind the facade you've painted upon your face. That's why comfort ain't the bed I choose to sleep in. It's something about taking the first permanent step away from a bond that was familiar and felt like a home, yet is now slowly turning into a house. I guess that's what mama always told me. Don't get too comfortable in these grown up conversations because most of them ain't mature. Gossip is their primary language. Uncomfortable conversations are too foreign for the mind to comprehend. I guess the frequencies and the words are too loud for the ears to gather and receive. I now see elevation comes with elimination. That staying too long in places where you are only tolerated is more damaging than being where you are celebrated. So, in the words of Miss Marquita writes, child, I'm going where the love is, always, because comfort ain't the bed I choose to sleep in. It keeps me in a box, causing a dysfunctional fracture to my spirit, fracturing my value over the years. It's failed to heal properly. But a diamond that's broken can still apply pressure. And broken crayons are still the masterpiece of my story, so I choose love over fear. No longer sitting at tables I wasn't invited to. I got tired of swallowing the irritation they hid behind their smiles when I could hear the envy echo whispers through their teeth. I had a foe one time from my past tell me, Philly got you acting brand new. Well, nigga, new me shows you never knew me. See, there ain't no benefits in the game of people pleasing. The cheat code is to get out of harboring other people's baggage in your soul. Because beneficial people have always been official. And people with the lack of currency will never be able to keep up with the current of you. So may you leave them in the past, especially if that's a place where they choose to hold you. Always find courage in outgrowing what wasn't aligned for you. Never be afraid to live in your life and find the gems and happiness from within. May you never allow comfort to be the bed you choose to sleep in. Poem.
Come on, sis. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hold on, y'all. My grandbaby just walked in.
It's okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Complex Angel. I appreciate you. Oh, you say you got a feature tomorrow.
Yes. It's
Congratulations on the feature.
yes, thank you. I don't know if anybody lives in Philly area, but it's in Germantown at 54 Maplewood Street. You only have to donate a food item to enter because they're trying to fill the refrigerators to feed the homeless. So if anybody's in the Philly area, I don't know, but yeah.
What's up? I like that. I like that. And especially in today's time, because groceries is hot.
Yes.
Oh, I appreciate you once again, my love. All right. I have Sam. Is Sam still here? Sam, are you with me, love?
Absolutely.
All right, you have the floor, love. Tell them who you are
Thank you.
and you got it.
Hey, I'm Sam, otherwise known as Sam the Poet, and I live in Louisiana. I'm from Texas, and I've been writing since I was 7 years old. My first poem was so contentious that my mother actually signed me up for therapy. So one of these days, I'll actually recite that poem. It's really pretty funny. But so I've been writing. I'm going to be 65 this year. So I've been writing a very long time and really consistently the past 5 years. Just I'm in the Stafford Challenge, so I write a poem every day. So, and the poem I have is, you want me to read now? Sorry, I didn't.
Yes,
Okay, the
ma'am.
poem I have is called Smile Girl. They said wear heels, but not the kind that make noise when you walk. They said wear makeup, but not too much or you'll look desperate. They said stay slim, but not too slim or they'll think you're anorexic. They said smile, girl. Smile through the cat calls. Smile when he interrupts you mid-sentence. Smile when he touches your back in the break room. Smile when you have more seniority but get paid less. They said be soft spoken, be polite, be agreeable. Don't talk back, don't talk too loud, don't speak too often, don't have an opinion. They said you're lucky to be pretty. They said beauty opens doors. They didn't mention the locks on the inside. They want us to perform femininity like a fucking Broadway show, yet I'm still paid less for the ticket. My eyeliner's flawless, but my opinions are too emotional. My laugh is gentle, but my no gets ignored. My nails are pretty and sharp, but so is my mind that no one notices. I walk through the parking garage afraid with keys between my knuckles. I smile when I want to scream. I say thank you when I'm afraid. I've smiled through insults, laughed through fear, swallowed down rage just to stay calm and safe. Well, not anymore. I carried decades of silence in my mouth. Now it spills out in screams. You wanted obedience, but I came for a riot. I won't be your mannequin, your other woman, your mood boost, your soft distraction. I'm not your angel, your arm candy, your therapy and heels. I'm not your calm down, your ego stroke, your good little girl. I was a good little girl for years, and I'm done with that. I'm not here to soothe you, not here to amuse you. I'm here to undo you. I will not smile for your comfort. I will not shrink to fit your frame. This body is mine. This voice is mine. And I'm not asking anymore. Thank you.
Thank you. Phenomenal poem. Phenomenal poem. Hey, Miss Erica, I see you slid in. How you doing, love?
I am here and I love Kelly Mack. So I'm like, let me sneak in here and see if I can catch a little something, something.
Ah, I think you missed her, but she might give you one at the end. She might. We'll see. Maybe just for you. Maybe just for you. Miss Lady, are you there, darling?
Of course I am.
How are you, love? Hey, bestie.
Making bread with the child.
Hey, I
She's gonna
love it. I
try
love
to
it.
join in a minute, but yeah, I'm making bread with the child.
Niece.
She can't hear you. She's all the way in the kitchen. Counting, understanding why math matters. Wonderful feature tonight. Wonderful feature. I wasn't able to really chime in much, but I was able to listen from afar. So I'm really excited to be able to be here tonight.
Hey, definitely phenomenal night. You have something for us, darling? Tell them who you are.
Oh, I'm Miss Lady. Check the bio. Nah, hi. Yeah, I'm Miss Lady. Yeah, that's my sis, my bestie, and my partner in crime. I mean, non-crime. We have the Zen Publishers. We got the Stay Zen app over there. Apparently, I don't know if she said that the people, are nominated for various different awards for National
I
Spoken Word
haven't
Award.
yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I just did. Vote for us. Woohoo! Okay. Is that good? You know I hate talking about myself.
I know
All right.
it. Got it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Count
All right.
for us.
All right. I got the reason poetry left. Let's do that.
Let's go.
I heard poetry left. Maybe it was because poetry remembered who crawled to her first. The midnight bargain, the page wet before the ink arrived, trembling hands trying to turn ache into shelter without paying rent to the truth. How they begged her to make the hurt useful, then resented her when useful kept breathing. See, that is why she left. Poetry grew wary of being assigned everyone's unfinished resurrection. Men said art when they meant access, said muse when they meant woman. Poetry left because the house kept eating its windows. Because men kept bringing her their wounds wrapped in stage light and asking, "Can you make this sound holy before the blood dries?" And she tried. Sat there in her ink dark whole alphabet grit under her nails, a funeral bell where her mercy used to sleep. Then the room started changing colors. Blue came first, a bruised blue, the color of a secret learning how to breathe underwater. It spread across the ceiling in slow animal waves. The vowels went blue around the edges. Consonants grew little tempers. The letter R began pacing near the radiator, rolling its shoulders like it wanted to start something. S tasted like cold metal. M kept vibrating under the table like a secret with a low voice. P arrived late, overdressed, and immediately lied about the traffic. The commas turned soft and yellow, small bruised moons with excellent manners, question marks curled in corners like sleeping scorpions, and that is when poetry knew the language had symptoms. 5 minutes. That is how long some phantoms can stand beside the living before the sheet grows heavy. And poetry? Poetry studied the clock, studied the wound and the little circus of almost accountability doing card tricks in a room full of balloons and said, absolutely not. Silence took attendance. Rhyme scheme blinked on red. The moon unplugged itself. Similes filed paperwork under hostile working conditions. One metaphor remained bewildered, holding a tiny suitcase and wearing one red sock. Then Violet entered. Violet, like a bruise that had studied scripture and declined to translate itself. The walls tightened as if the house had heard its own name misused. The floor remembered footsteps nobody confessed to taking. Meanwhile, the nouns got nervous. Witness kept swallowing its own affidavit, and Boundary stood by the exit with coat over one arm. Memory wore sunglasses indoors and pretended nobody smelled rain coming off its briefcase. Desire kept touching things clearly marked exhibit, and guilt sat in the back with a paper crown and called itself misunderstood. The prepositions began rearranging the furniture. Near became inside, for became from, to became through, and through kept opening like a door that has studied anatomy. That is how language warns you. First, the sentence sweats. Then the metaphor blinks, and then the whole room starts tasting purple, and nobody admits their tongue has become evidence. So let the record show. Poetry did not abandon you. She recognized the room, saw the wound reaching for witness instead of reckoning, heard her name being used as a mask for somebody who still wanted access with accountability missing from the score. And the score knew. The score always knows. But poetry is gone now. Or maybe she is across the street in sunglasses, sipping thunder from a paper cup, watching the whole room misread itself. Congratulations on your feature. Mic drop.
My mother loving drop. Ah, she do it every time. She do it every time.
I can't stand her.
I know, right? I love her to death though, but I can't stand her sometimes.
That.
That is a poet doing a freaking poem. Oh my goodness. Again, if you would like to donate, 90% goes to the beautiful lady who was the feature, Miss Kelly Mary Mcallister, and 10% goes to Tesoro. Please, 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 if you choose to do so, the email is in the chat. I always have. Go ahead. What you about to say, Erica? Oh, I thought you were about to say something. Erica, I know you just
Yes,
you
ma'am.
want to share a poem.
Oh, I was trying to tell you that your niece was here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Your
Um,
niece? I missed some. Okay.
my baby girl.
Oh, okay. Got you. What can I do? This
Let
is a.
me.
Oh, go
Oh,
ahead. Go ahead.
I
I'm
was
sorry, Angel. Go
no, no,
ahead.
no, no. You're fine. I was gonna say, let me get Nisi, and then I'll get you. That way you have a moment to figure out what you're gonna do. And
Oh,
then
okay. I was just gonna
second,
grab something real quick because I know you guys been on here a minute. But go ahead.
okay, yeah, because she was up next, but I wasn't sure if she was ready yet because she was kneading bread.
Yeah. She is. Say hello.
Hi, Auntie.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
Congratulations on your
To
feature.
the
Well,
feature.
to the future.
That wasn't her.
Okay.
She was in there. We baking this week. She child learning how to bake.
Yeah.
Hey.
Right.
Okay. Um,
So
I have
tell them who you are.
hi
I'm
peoples.
EDJ.
I'm EDJ, and
Aren't you nominated for a National Spoken Word Award?
No.
Yes, you are.
I
Youth Poet of the
am.
Year.
So
Vote for me.
please vote for me. I have a
Check
PhD.
out my Instagram page. There we go.
Yay.
EDJ.exe, y'all.
Okay.
She's so jittery today. I love it.
She was in there making bread, man. I was giving her instructions. I'm like, you can do it.
EDJ, you got the floor, baby.
Thank you. This piece is called Looped Perfectionism.
Was it one of your first pieces, right? One of the first 5?
I guess.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I move in perfectly symmetrical circles to everyone's chagrin. Never learning my lesson. Simply repeating the cycle again. Feel like I'm cornered by consequences if I don't. They say I'm in trouble if I do, but my way seems perfectly fine till the consequences have their say, and I'm forced to pay my dues. The everlasting cold on my body never ceases to disappear. The aftermath of bearing the want to go here. It's dangerous, my mother said, but I didn't listen, and I was in an unhappy position. Then I attempted to listen. Then I just did it again. Then I attempted to listen. Then I just did it again. This endless loop of forever existing in trouble seems destined never to end. Guess my quest for perfection was doomed to fail before even attempted. The most minute mistake, and I spent an eternity regretting it. Can't understand why my efforts are constantly thwarted as hard as I try, expecting no errors as I trip and fall over my pride. It's insanity, and I can't explain why this would place as an attainable goal for me. Maybe my thirst won't be quenched until I find the hidden key. Trying to erase my past mistakes, thinking it's supposed to be a piece of cake. For others' sakes, maybe I'll stop this mindset, but thoughts leave my mind into space. Dodging bullets and meteoroids, me practically trying to be an android with my non-understandable standalone station rendered incapable. My mind is unstable, brilliant and bendable, yet unintelligible syllable spill. Just one card short of a full deck. I try so hard just to be perfect. My Life on the Page by EDJ. Yay!
And that is my beautiful niece, y'all. Show her some love.
Amazing.
uh, yes, yes. The price of youth. I'm just saying. But she get it from her mama, as y'all can see. She get it from her mama. Thank you, EDJ. Love you, baby.
I
All
love
right.
you back, Auntie. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
All right. Miss Erica Floyd, you are up next, darling.
Okay, I'm trying to find this prompt that my pen son gave me.
Okay.
That would be pyro. Let me see here. The prompt was open mics to mouths that are still closed. But when ye pray, use not vain repetition as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. Matthew 6:7. Life is a challenge. For some, so much has come against them that if they survive, they develop a callus of sorts. And because of their struggles, we get the benefit of seeing them come out on the other side of their trials, unaware of what it took for them to escape, not looking like what they've been through, which is why you have to be careful and not covet who they are now because you're unaware of what it took for them to get where they are. So it's a blessing if they've reached a point to where their testimony is shared. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. Revelation 12, 11. Testimony is extremely important. How else do you think we can be our brother's keeper? The experiences of one can demonstrate for others how to survive. It shows as humans that we don't have the monopoly over pain and heartache, that you're not alone in your suffering. There is always someone that has been through what you have. Perhaps the elders were poets, something to consider. So when someone steps in front of an audience, it's a form of witness of their survival or shared experience. And although in some ways it can be a form of entertainment, when you come to these venues, it's also a source of release for both the poet and those listening. Poetry is such a cathartic way of expression. Bars are fine in a way where it makes the delivery memorable and captures the attention and energy needed. But sometimes just delivering the real in a way that all can understand is the best way to receive the message that we're not by ourselves in our fate. We are in need of hope for our lives because trust and believe poetry can be a life preserver. I personally believe that because Jesus himself delivered his message in parables, words delivered for the sake of guiding us through life's journey in order to give life to us in more abundance. So, rhyme schemes and bars may give you snaps and rewinds, but if there's no substance to what you relay, the stage becomes nothing more than open mics to mouths that are closed. No transparency, no revelation, no epiphany, no hope for healing, no lesson learned. Eminem said it best. Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish. And from what I understand, gibberish defined as unintelligible or meaningless speech or writing, nonsense. And unless you have the Holy Spirit and you're speaking in other tongues, you need an interpreter to translate for whom you're conveying your art. The message must be clearly understood and be beneficial to those that you're addressing. Bottom line, can't tell you nothing I ain't already heard. No matter what I say, is nothing but words. A quote from India Ari and Anthony David. Poem.
Let's go. Let's go.
You better preach, girl.
Girl, yes.
Thank you.
We're gonna talk about that piece later. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Mm-hmm. I love that one. I love that.
I appreciate it. Pyro be challenging me, man. Listen.
I love it. I love it. I love when you push your pen. All right, Miss Kelly. Do you have any last words? Did she walk away?
I did shove a chip in my mouth, but I did not walk away. Um,
That's okay. That's okay.
okay. Erica, did you want one last one?
If you're able to give it to me, honey. But I did not
Okay.
want to miss you. I had another meeting, but I'm like, I got to see if she's still up here and at least make it to the party, albeit late.
Well, you can
That's
always
okay.
catch this on the YouTube. Always catch it on the YouTube. But to
True,
some,
you can't
No,
watch it
it
on the
was
YouTube.
important to me that she see me show up for her, though. That was
oh
the
no, no,
thing.
I got that
Oh,
part.
I see you here.
No, we understood
Absolutely see
that
you
part.
here.
It is on you, Miss Kelly.
Okay. Um, why don't I do this one? It's a short one and it's kind of my signature poem and it's memorized, so I don't have to go looking for it. Exercise only works if it hurts. It's your pain that burns those calories. The internal combustion engine of the body is your suffering. Go harder. Tears should slide down your flushed cheeks. Salt mingling with salt, an alchemy of perspiration and pain that makes your pump more potent. You should feel no joy. If you feel a moment of joy, don't. Health is beauty and beauty is pain, so pain must be health. You can find joy in joy when you've destroyed the fat, when you've earned it. You don't look like you've earned it. Food is only fuel, not a pleasure, not a pleasant experience, but a penance, a punishment. If it's good for you, it should taste like sand disintegrating in your mouth into tasteless particle pieces. If you're not hungry for this, then you're not really hungry, are you? If the buckle won't latch on your belt, you should buckle down, buck up, make yourself less, eat less, be less. No one will love you unless you fit into those pants. To buy a new pair is to admit defeat. To accept your features is fine. To accept a futile future is fat. To fool yourself into the fantasy that others don't see your flaws, you can't ever let them see your flaws. So close your fucking jaws. Diet or you'll die of it. Roll the dice with the vice of it. Don't you know that the trophy at the end of it all is the smallest coffin? And that is the whole piece.
Oh,
That was masterfully done. And the
oh.
whole truth, girl.
Thank
Ah,
you.
Whew.
love
Jesus.
all around. Y'all give some emojis. Thank you once again for pulling up y'all.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you, Angel.
You're welcome. Thank you. Y'all don't forget Saturday, the 18th, the slam. Tap in with Miss Kelly.
I'll put the link in the chat.
Yes. Go ahead and drop that link in the chat. If you want to be a part of that slam, it's $25, but this is for a good cause. One of our own in the community is facing eviction. Please, 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 even if you don't want to join the slam, just drop a small donation, a big donation, a donation, just to watch and pull up. Let's support our community of poets, especially when they are in need, y'all. Okay? So if you are free and available, even if you're not, drop something. It can be $5. Listen, at this point, every dollar counts. Every dollar counts. So don't think just because it's a small amount that it's not gonna do anything. Every dollar counts. Behave, you two. Sorry. My babies are restless and they're fighting each other. But definitely tap in with Miss Kelly for Saturday. She also does workshops. And what else do you have going on, Miss Kelly?
Um, I'm I'm actually in talks to potentially start volunteering at a radio station. It's
Ooh,
just local, but it'll be online, so
okay.
you can stream it, and I'll let you know if that comes to anything.
Most definitely. Miss Lady mentioned earlier that several of us, like including myself, her daughter, EDJ, have been nominated for the Black Ice National Spoken Word Awards. I am nominated 3 times in 3 different categories under my poet name Southern Soul and under my regular name Angel Kim. You can find Miss Lady on there. You can find EDJ, that is her daughter, EDJ. Vote for us, vote for us, vote for us. And any other poet that you see that you support, vote, vote, vote. There are several poets on this list. You'll find the link in my bio. You'll find the link in her bio. You'll see flyers posted if you're just, get confused on who to vote for. Um, but vote. It that's another way to support the community of poets is by there and there's several different awards going on right now. I've seen one based in Las Vegas. I've seen one based other. If you see poets you know in different areas and they have been nominated for things, it doesn't take but a second to go vote. I think that's highly important. We see it and we scroll past it. It'll be all right. Vote. Put your vote in. All right. Also donate so that 90% can go to Miss Kelly. and 10% to Sesotho. Miss Stacy, do you have any last words?
Just to, first of all, thank everybody. Kelly, I want to be you when I grow up, if I ever do. That was absolutely, it's all going to sound cliche, but it's all true. It was inspirational. It was mind blowing. It was spirit shaking. Um, you never ever fail to amaze me, honey. Sam Hardy, one of our fire singers, will be
Mhm.
doing an aperitif concert in a little under a week. Check our website for that to get more information, www.firesingers.com. And Angel already asked you, but I'm going to ask you again just because I get such a kick out of it. Hit your emoji buttons. I want to see this screen flooded with roses, flowers, fireworks, everything for the incredible job that Kelly did.
Oh, see, now you've got me putting emojis to myself, which just feels wrong.
Look, if you
Honey,
can't
if
give
you don't
yourself
applaud for
love,
yourself,
you can't expect nobody else
who
to
else
do
is
it.
gonna do it?
All
I
right, you know
mean,
what? That's very true. We're having a RuPaul moment. If you can't love yourself, how the
Yes.
hell are you gonna love somebody else?
Listen, that put me in the mind of RuPaul real quick. You can't love yourself.
Oh, I think we lost her.
yeah, we did.
Oh my.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
see,
I'm glad I made it. Got to see you guys.
sometimes you just get so into the spirit that you lose yourself, you know, and it's just like that sometimes.
I think that's the best way it could have possibly ended.
Okay. All right then.
She's okay though, right?
Yeah, I guess her grandchildren were around her or something. I don't know.
Uh,
Okay.
okay.
I'm
Well,
sure
Yeah.
she's fine. But hi, have a good evening,
oh,
everyone.
hang
You
on,
as
y'all. She's
well.
Have
coming
a good
back. She's
evening.
coming back.
Oh,
All
oh.
right. Is she? Is she back?
There
That was
she
You
is.
did a
amazing.
mic drop. Yes, she did.
My device said, I don't care if you plug me up. I was already on the skits and about to die. So I'm going to die anyway.
Oh Lord.
You know, hey, y'all, James Brown had his cape. Angel Kim's got this, okay?
Mic
Oh,
drop.
bless her, bless
That's
her,
how you
bless
mic
her.
drop.
Yes, it's
Sorry
amazing.
about that, guys.
No,
Nope,
you
loved it.
good.
All right, y'all. We're going to get up out of here so Kelly can enjoy the rest of her evening. Thank you all once again for pulling up. I so appreciate y'all.
Appreciate this
It
group
was
as
a
well.
really great night. Thank you for being here. And I loved getting to hear your pieces.
Yeah,
Most
me
definitely.
too.
All right. Y'all have a blessed night. And
You
please
as
be safe
well.
out there, especially you, Kelly. Be safe up there.
Absolutely.
Oh, we'll be okay. I'm more worried about our neighbors in the north.
I'll be sending out
Mm,
many more prayers.
Thank you,
Sending
Kelly.
all the prayers and bright energy, honey. You take it easy, okay?
Oh, yeah. You
All right.
too.